Have you ever heard a story that sent a shiver down your spine, not just because it was scary, but because it was real and had no ending? Our world is filled with puzzles that have stumped detectives and fascinated the public for decades. These are the stories of shadows and whispers, of crimes so baffling they've become modern legends. Today, we re-journeying into the heart of darkness to explore some of the most chilling unsolved mysteries of all time. These are the cases that keep you up at night, the tales where the final chapter was never written. Let's start in the late 1960s, in Northern California. A reign of terror begins, orchestrated by a figure who craves the spotlight as much as chaos. He calls himself the Zodiac. This isn't just a killer, he's a performer of the macabre. He attacks couples in quiet, secluded spots, turning lovers' lanes into scenes of horror. But what truly sets the Zodiac apart are his letters. He taunts the police and the press, sending bizarre, coded messages to newspapers like the San Francisco Chronicle. He claims his cryptograms hold his identity, daring the smartest minds to unmask him. One of his ciphers, the 408 symbol cipher, was cracked by a schoolteacher and his wife, but it didn't reveal his name. It was a boastful, rambling message. Another, the 340 cipher, remained unsolved for over 50 years until a team of amateur codebreakers finally cracked it in 2020. Yet, it offered no name, no solid clues. The Zodiac claimed at least 5 victims, but hinted at many more, maybe as many as 37. Suspects were investigated, the most famous being Arthur Lee Allen, but the evidence was never conclusive. The letters stopped, but the fear lingered. The Zodiac Killer simply vanished, leaving behind a legacy of cryptic symbols and a name that is synonymous with unsolved terror. Who was the man behind the mask and the chilling cross-circle symbol? The question hangs in the air, a ghost of the past that refuses to rest. Now, let's travel back further, to 1947 Los Angeles, the city of dreams. But for one young woman, it became the city of a waking nightmare. Elizabeth Short, an aspiring actress with striking black hair and a captivating smile, was nicknamed the Black Dahlia by the press. On a cold January morning, her body was discovered in a vacant lot. The scene was so gruesome it shocked even the most hardened investigators. Her body had been surgically severed at the waist and drained of blood, her face carved into a grotesque, permanent smile. The brutality of the murder sparked a massive investigation and a media frenzy. Confessions poured in. Over 50 people claimed to be the killer, but all were dismissed as false. Suspects ranged from doctors to small-time criminals. One prominent suspect was Dr. George Hodel, whose own son, a former lab detective, later wrote a book accusing him of the crime. Evidence was circumstantial, and no charges were ever filed. The Black Dahlia case became one of America's most famous and infamous cold cases. Elizabeth Short's story is a tragic tale of Hollywood ambition and unimaginable cruelty. Her killer a phantom who has haunted the City of Angels for over 75 years. Let's move to the East Coast, Philadelphia, 1957. In a wooded area, a cardboard box is found. Inside lies the body of a young boy, estimated to be between 4 and 6 years old. He is naked, wrapped in a blanket, and shows signs of severe malnourishment and abuse. This is the tragic case of the boy in the box, America's unknown child. For decades, his identity was a complete mystery. Investigators worked tirelessly, distributing posters with the boy's face across the country. They checked orphanage records, dental records, everything. But nothing. It was as if the boy had never existed. The case captured the heart of the nation, a symbol of a lost, forgotten child. Generations of detectives passed the case files down, refusing to let him be forgotten. Then, a breakthrough. In late 2022, using modern DNA technology and genetic genealogy, investigators were finally able to put a name to the face. The boy was identified as Joseph Augustus Zarelli. This incredible discovery answered the question of asterisk who asterisk he was, but it opened up a new, equally haunting question. Asterisk what asterisk happened to him? Who was responsible for the abuse and his death? The investigation is now active again, a murder case with a name and a face, but the perpetrator remains a shadow, and justice for little Joseph is still waiting. From America, we cross the Atlantic to the picturesque but remote Isdal Valley in Norway, also known as Death Valley. In November 1970, a hiker stumbles upon a chilling scene, the partially burned body of a woman hidden among the rocks. This is the beginning of the mystery of the Isdal Woman. The investigation uncovers a bizarre trail of clues that only deepen the mystery. At a train station locker, police find 2 suitcases belonging to the woman. Inside, there are wigs, maps, and clothes with all the labels cut out. Most strangely, they find multiple passports, all under different names. She was a woman of many identities, traveling across Europe with a web of aliases. An autopsy revealed she had a high concentration of sleeping pills in her system and carbon monoxide in her lungs, suggesting she was alive when she was set on fire. Was it suicide or murder? The coded notes found in her luggage looked like a spy's diary. Was she a secret agent, a criminal on the run, or something else entirely? Despite international police efforts, no one ever came forward to identify her. The Isdal Woman's true name and the reason for her secretive life and fiery death in a remote Norwegian valley remain one of Europe's most profound and baffling mysteries. Finally, we journey to the foggy, gaslit streets of 1888 London. In the impoverished Whitechapel district, a killer stalks the night, preying on women in the darkest corners of the city. He becomes a legend, a boogeyman whose name is whispered in fear, Jack the Ripper. His victims, at least 5 of them, were targeted with a terrifying and brutal precision that suggested the killer had anatomical knowledge. The murders created a media sensation and widespread panic. The killer even seemed to mock the police, sending letters to the authorities, one of which was famously signed from hell. Countless theories and suspects have emerged over the centuries. Was he a doctor, a butcher, a member of the royal family, or just a local lunatic? Books have been written, movies have been made, and an entire industry of ripperology has sprung up. Modern techniques have been used on old evidence, with some researchers claiming to have identified the killer through DNA, but these findings are always hotly debated and never universally accepted. Jack the Ripper was never caught. He committed his gruesome acts and then, just as suddenly as he appeared, he stopped, disappearing back into the London fog, leaving behind a name that is the very definition of a historical cold case. From the Zodiac ciphers to Jack the Ripper's London fog, these stories linger in our collective consciousness. They are tales of identity and anonymity, of questions that echo through time. The Black Dahlia, the boy in the box, the Isdal Woman, they are not just cases, they are human tragedies that cry out for answers. These mysteries remind us that sometimes, the truth can remain just out of reach, hidden in the shadows, leaving us with a chilling sense of unease and the haunting question, what other secrets does the past hold? Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you find these stories as compelling as I do, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. Stay curious and stay safe.